Well, you might have heard about a future sales tax on real estate transactions. We want to set the record straight this morning, and in order to help us do that, here to talk about this is Stuart Vener. He's a real estate mortgage expert, and Stuart, it's good to see you once again, a good friend of the show here. Now, I haven't run across anyone that isn't totally surprised by this when they hear about it for the first time. How did we first hear about this issue, and how did it kind of sneak up on us?
Well, I think it kind of snuck up by calling it a Medicare surtax, and that kind of appeals to the senior citizens, so they didn't really quite realize what it was.
So the next realization in all of this is that, in the story, is that the tax link is to Obamacare. Tell us how that happened.
Yes, it is. In fact, it, I think, lies on page 32 or 33 of the Obamacare law. And we have legislatures that never even read the bill. This is to the page 30.
Right.
Who knows what's on page 1,000?
It's pretty thick.
Yes, it is.
Oh, so when I first heard about this, I thought that it was for every real estate transaction, but that's not true. So try and separate what we're talking about here.
Well, on the surface, it is for every real estate transaction, but it must comply to current tax code. And the caveat there is on your primary residence. If you were to sell it for a profit of $250,000 for an individual or $500,000 for a married couple, that's exempt from a capital gain tax, and it's also exempt from this sales tax or surtax.
So that falls on the shoulders of relatively few compared to if it was a blanket-wide thing.
Yes, but where it's really bad is we have obviously a faltering, horrible real estate market, and what we need to get out of this slump are sales. Sales of homes and sales of investment property, sales of second homes, and second homes investment property. Anything other than your primary residence is subject to the sales tax.
So ultimately then something like this is not going to help that cause right now, at least in the short term.
Any kind of tax, especially now when the real estate market is not good.
Okay, so I know the National Association of Realtors is working on getting this thing repealed. I said, what can the average person do to you? And you say, well, really, this doesn't affect the average person.
Well, it's going to affect all of us. You can certainly write your congressman, but these are, of course, the same people that put Obamacare into office and into law. The biggest thing that they can do is next November go out and vote.
And so I'll leave you with this question, not necessarily related to what we've been talking about, but how is it looking? You're in the mortgage business. Are things inching toward any sort of improvement at all in your eyes?
Not yet. I think we're looking at about 4 more hard years before the demand actually reaches the supply that's out there.
4 years is a long time.
It's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
It didn't happen overnight.
Stuart, thanks very much for being with us. We appreciate that as always. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks
Tom.
for being here. And now let's see what Charlie Wilshire is up to.